All right, good Monday morning. We're going to get a jump on it a little early this wonderful, cloudy, snowy, cold spring morning of Minnesota. What do you say? Yeah, I figured I was ready. Got everything up and at 'em and processing and running. Figured we'll get things going. How is everybody doing? Happy Monday. We do this each and every Monday. It is a morning coffee. It's morning. And I got my cup of coffee. Oh boy, what does it feel like to be a year older? My birthday, my 40th birthday was on Saturday, so I present to you my first live stream in my 40s. Holy smokes, no longer the young whippersnapper. Um, Wanted to share with you one of the cool birthday gifts I received. It's a Tenkara flybox. Um, it's made out of bamboo, and it's got a spot for two different spools of tippet or line, whatever you want to using that. I'll put this in front of the other camera here in a minute. By Revus Design, Revus Designs. Pretty cool. I came across it on one of the Tenkara Facebook groups, and one of my birthday elves procured it for me. It's pretty cool. A spot on the back for an additional tippet spool. I wonder if I have a tippet spool handy. I don't think I do down here. I don't. Um, yeah, and it's we're gonna be loading it up today. I'm gonna throw some flies in there. And the one that's in there with the little green foam, I think we did that last week. Was that last week's tie with a little dab of green foam for the butt? It fished pretty well. I didn't catch anything. It's still pretty early for panfish around here, at least on the surface or just slightly below subsurface. I was able to raise a few up with the fly we tied a couple of weeks ago, but I don't think that's more of the exception than the rule. But yeah, here we are. Happy Monday. We're going to get things going here in just a few minutes. Give some people some time to tune in. Feel free to say hi, hello, and how are you in the chat. Hope everybody's doing well. Like I said, it is bona fide snow flurries today. I got out yesterday, took care of some yard work for my neighbor across the street. He's a Vietnam veteran. He's living by himself, and he's physically active. He gets out there and he takes care of stuff. But I get in there and try to do the quote unquote the heavy lifting. Just raking and mowing the lawn, and they're just uh, extra mundane hibbity jibbity. Colin, good morning. How are you? Thanks for jumping in this morning. If it's morning for you, we do get an international audience, which I think is really cool. And that's one of the things that have found to be really. I didn't even really expect it, but I should have expected it. It's the World Wide Web. Why wouldn't YouTube videos be viewed from all over? And I don't know. I'd like to think about the individual that is wherever, either replicating or just simply inspired by something that I tied and showed or shared, and take that and do something with it. Catch a fly or catch a fly, tie a fly and catch a fish, or just I don't know. There's a lot of us that we get so wrapped up on one thing or the other, and I think we forget to take a step back and enjoy the totality of it all. We get really fixated on just fly tying or just the fishing or just this or just that. It's the sum of all the parts, not just the individual components that this all gets put together with. So, I don't know, just some thoughts this morning. That's what we do. I think my thoughts, I speak my thoughts, and we tie some flies and enjoy a cup of coffee. This morning we've got your standard Aldi, I think they call it the donut store blend or coffee shop blend or whatever it is. It's supposed to taste like Dunkin' Donuts, I believe. I don't know. When I'm at Dunkin' Donuts, I'm not there for the coffee. I'm there for the donuts. But it has been forever and a day since I've been to a bona fide donut shop. We had a Tim Hortons here in St. Cloud for maybe a year, maybe not. It was a terrible location for it. But then again, what is a good location for any business? I don't know. But let's tie some flies. I've got some ideas this morning. We're going to be playing with some deer hair, some peacock herl, and who knows what we're going to come up with. That's the beauty of the Monday mornings, and I really like. I've been doing this almost a year now, kind of focusing in on tenkara style themed flies. I'll never claim that anything I tie is the be all end all of anything. I don't. I'm not. I'm not Japanese. We know this, but I am definitely inspired by their tenkara style way of fishing, and I think it's just absolutely spectacular. Tying flies. It's we like I said, we get cornholed into certain sectors, and I think it limits our ability to expand. And I don't know. When I first got into tenkara fishing, boy, don't even mention it on just a whatever fly fishing Facebook group. Everybody's got their opinion, but there's no sense of breaking somebody down. It doesn't build you up at all. When they go low, you get high. Wait, that's tomorrow. But anyways, let's tie some up. Let's spin the camera around. We got 9 o'clock. Good morning, Steve. I started a little early, but I gave it a little bit of extra jibber jabber this morning before we did the hokey pokey, spun ourselves around to tie some flies. So flip that camera over and we'll bump up our lighting situation. I think the camera adjusts pretty well. It's like the only spot you really see it is right there, but I need this light to see. So today, let's see here. I've got some ideas cooked up, and we'll see what we do with it. And that's the beauty of it. I never know what I'm going to end up with when I sit down at this bench. And I've got books upon books. I've got a whole library of fly tying books, and they're great for ideas and inspiration. And where I draw everything from, I don't know. I don't know where it comes from necessarily, but it all goes right there. So let's start. I got a size 12. Where'd my little bag of hooks go? Here we go. These are size 12s dry fly hooks. These are from our friends up north in Canada. Fly Life. Check them out. Good stuff up there. All right. Black Tenot Vivas. Instead of Vivas. I'll get that started. I knocked something off of the bench. There it is. And the deer hair I'm going to be using today is my standard whitetail Minnesota deer hair. I'm going to build a head first. A little bit of a bump up front, because this is going to help our little flare out. So I built it up, and then I felt it once I rolled it behind the head. The thread just kind of popped. It, it fell towards the rear. And like I said, this is just some standard, good old standard Minnesota whitetail there. And I don't know. I just keep kind of going back to the creativity of things, but you have to have, I think, but in order to assist your creative progress, I think one really always needs to stay tuned as to what's going on out there. You gotta match your hatches and junk like that. But let's go ahead and clear this deer hair out. We'll use our brush and our comb. Pinch and roll, pinch and roll. I think that's kind of the key of separating that deer hair, is actually allowing it to roll in your fingertips. Once we got that cleared out, let's find a hair stacker. Appropriate size. We'll go with this kind of a medium hair stacker. Question for the audience. Let me know in the chat or in the comments. How many hair stackers do you have and or use? We'll do a quick inventory. We've got one. We're using number 2. I know I have a number 3 somewhere. Where it is, I don't know. It's a small little itty bitty one. Oh, there it is. A little brass one. So I've got 1, 2, 3 and a half. Just different. I don't know. I think these two are pretty darn similar as far as size, but you only need one, and if you're gonna use one, it's better to have it to be too big or too small. So Colin's got one and he doesn't use it yet. Well, hang on to it. You'll get to the point where you start using this stacker. Tie some flies. All right. This is going to be our wing, and I'm going to let this roll all the way around the shank of the hook. I'm going to go a hook's length, kind of sticking out front. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to kind of let it roll. Gather all my butts. Then I'm going to take a wrap or two around the shank. And that's going to kind of help lock all that in. Let's go ahead and trim this all off. See ya. And there's a potential that this might actually still spin, just like that, and that's okay. We'll let it spin until it doesn't. And I'm going to get my flare tool out here in a little bit. There we go. We'll flare that out here in a second. All right. Next I wanted to tie in just a simple small gold wire. And we'll run that back into the bend just a little bit, because we're going to do a few wraps of just this gold before we use it for our ribbing. So we're going to use it for our tag end, and then we'll use it for our ribbing. So I bump my thread forward just a little bit. And we'll start this one with three bits of peacock herl, tied in by the tips. And we'll get rid of the excess. So I saw in, speaking of stackers, hair stackers, I think it's in Scotland, Ireland, could be the UK. I believe it's Davy McPhail or the Featherbender, Barry Ward Clark. One of those two, I forget which one, not too long ago promoted like a nesting doll hair stacker. And I'll definitely jump in on it, except I already have 3 hair stackers, and shipping. Give those 3 a little twist. Oh, and we just broke all 3 off. Wow. That was a case of me just pulling down on it with my shoulders. Well, we'll give that another try. We'll just tie those in, and we'll try it again. Give it a little grab, and then we'll twist. And I like doing my peacock curl this way with the hook grabber, because I think I really get a nice bite. Nice, it's just like rope making. You're giving it that twist, and it just wants to hug the shank of the hook. And I think it gives it a nice bushy feel to it. Nice and buggy. That's the word I'm looking for. I think we're going to end that there, because we know sparse is narce, so keep it nice and even. But you gotta admit though that the nesting doll hair stacker it's pretty neat. If I had an unlimited budget, I would absolutely, without a doubt, order me a set. Or if I could order it at my cost, their cost. Alright, we got that wrapped up back there. Now we'll just space these out. Work our way all the way up. Alright, let's go ahead and trim this off. And I don't know, I feel like that just needs just a little bit of a collar. What do we got for dubbing? Let's do something just simple. Maybe some ice dub. No. Let's do this Antron. I got this. This is a Wapsie. Haven't used this in a while. Let's do kind of this. I'm going to go this Rust Antron. tiny little pinch. We're going to just do a tiny little collar, just to give it a little bit of color. And then we'll just do a quick whip finish right to the back of that. 2, 3. Alright, so we're a little bunched up front for meow. Let's find our brush. I want to brush that W out just a little bit. We'll brush it forward and then I'll fall back. Alright. Now this is the equivalent to a pen tool. But this is its purpose in life. Here we go. I like that. I think that one turned out fairly well. Let's zoom in a little bit. That'll work. I think that'll work out just fine. That's a great first fly for the day. Talk about starting your week off right. I don't think it gets much better than that. I think we got a good amount of flare. Just dance that bad boy in the water and it should be alright. She'll be alright. I like the way that body came out. It was a good size for that body. Alright, well, let's take a closer look. Let's put a cork in it. Nice clean head. I like that two-tone body. Maybe we'll do a little bit more of a collar. I don't know. I think that. I like that back end with the just a few extra wraps of that wire back there. All right. Well, let's give that another go. And we did that with a rust antron. I like it. Yeah, it is going to be tough to beat. when you start your race off running full steam, what do you how do I improve? What do I do? What do I do? But I do like having the hair hackle, which is pretty, I don't know. It's just the term hackle, I think is quite interesting. You know, it's everything is a hackle. You know, it's just what are you using for your hackle? Because you got rubber hackle, hair hackle, chicken hackle. This is not a hackle. This is a hook. This is a size 12 R7. Still got a few left in there. Keep on keeping on. All right, let's try that again. We'll start off with our thread up front, build a little head. A good size head too. We don't want to be too stingy with this. Nice little bump. And then we'll park our thread right behind it. What's up, smart mouth? Good morning. Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. It's like when you're driving down the highway and you see a housing development getting constructed, and you see the sign that says, if you lived here, you'd be home already, which is true. All right, let's go ahead and clear out our deer hair. All right, we'll give it a pinch and twist. Pinch and twist. You know what I'm talking about, guys. Pinch and twist. A little dab with the brush. And we're going to go tips down into our hair stacker. So if you grab your hair way back here and flare it out, you're going to have a heck of a time getting it into your hair stacker. So go a little bit closer to the tips and spiral it in. We'll give it a couple taps. And when we're doing our hair stackers, it's that sudden stop. It's that sudden stop is what clicks it all down. It's not the lifting action. The lifting action does you no good. All right. I'm going to spin my thread counterclockwise. And that's right about where we want it. Let it roll around. Pick this out. Got two bodkins. Here we go. So the wraps around the shank of the hook really help lock this all in place. Help, not 100%. Trim all those butts out. We should get a little bit more of a spin, but not too much. I think that looks pretty good, and I'm not going to bother flaring that out until we get to the final bit of the end. All right, let's try that again. Let's get our gold wire. This is just a small gold, nothing fancy about it other than it's gold. Pretty fancy. Wrap that down. We're going to go just to the back a little bit. We're going to cover that thread up with our thread. So we're going to go just a small bump forward. You know what I'm going to do is, you know I like my hybrids. Got some ostrich. So we're going to throw a strand of ostrich brown. I believe that's like a natural brown ostrich. I think I came from one of my feather dusters. I can't say for sure. But we're going to do 2-part peacock, 1 part ostrich. This is where we start kind of going into the deep end. And it should give us just a slightly different texture. Let's trim off those butt sections. Run our thread forward. We'll gather our lot. Give it a little bit of a twist. So this is a 2-to-1 ratio peacock herl and ostrich. Kind of a natural brown. And each time I bring it forward, I'm just giving it a few more twists with the hook and hackle plier grabber. Alright, we're going to leave just a little bit of room for our collar up front. Now that we decided we want to add one. Secure that bad boy down. Not going for a super big body, but I think throwing that brown ostrich in there definitely kind of bulked that up a little bit. Good morning, Pete. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Definitely appreciated. All right. Let's go ahead and do our little tag end here. And these are going to be touching wraps, working our way forward. We'll do, I don't know, 4 or 5 of those or so until we get that thread covered. And then we start spacing it out, which I think looks right about there. Now we'll just open the ribbing up. And secure that down. Never been a big fan of the helicopter. Just a pair of, these are actually flush cutter mounts for something, for model building. Cut off the sprues. I believe they're called sprues. Not 100% sure. All right, let's find our little dab of dub. We did last time we did the Antron rust. Maybe we could do, I don't know, I kind of like the look of this super bright. Let's just take a little dab of super bright. See what happens. Kind of give us a little gold. No wax needed. Not right here, not right now. Just a little bit more. Kind of like the look of that first one a little bit more. All right, looks kind of sad right now until we flare this out. Once you get this flare going, then things really start to open up a little bit. Also makes it easier to tie in your fly. All right, not a fan of this super bright. And honestly, I'm not a fan of the ostrich in there. I think I kind of like that first one we made a little bit better. Hey Josh, good morning. Thanks for tuning in, brother. So let's take a look-see-loo on the second one. definitely a fan of the first one. I think we're going to try to keep the steam rolling on that. But we need a sip of coffee first. Tell you that for free. All right. So let's get this going. Of course, I misplace my hooks every time. Nope, way up here. Size 12s. 12s, 12s, 12s. I better put those somewhere a little bit more noticeable. All right, let's get this going. Mr. Bodkin, you got to go back. All right, maybe a little bit more. Here we go. Nice. Nice kind of teardrop shape. Nice little bubble up front. I think that'll work. All right, let's grab some deer hair. This is our Minnesota's finest. Okay, we're just slowly chomping into it, little bits at a time. How many flies do you think I tied with that little batch? Quite a bit. All right, let's grab by the tips. And look at all that, just from the first swipe. Roll it and pinch and roll. All right, hair stacker. Here we go. All right, I'll just measure that out where we want it. Spin my thread counterclockwise a little bit. Let it spin around. All right, let's go ahead and trim all this excess out of the way. See how we just got like one extra half a spin there, which is all right in my book. As long as it's all the way around and evenly distributed, I'll count that as a win. All right, small gold wire. Where did you go? Alright, we'll run this back a little bit. And go into the bend. Just into the bend, just a little bit. And we'll bump our thread a half a turn forward. And I'm just going to stick with the peacock this time. I think maybe blending was just a little bit extra. Alright, let's go 1, 2, 3, I don't know, looks like there's 4 in there. 3 to 4 strands of this peacock curl will do. So we're leaving a little room where, even though our thread and our wire are down into the bend a little bit, we don't want our peacock curl there necessarily. And I think maybe on that last one we didn't quite go far enough back. Kind of gave us a little weird, kind of stubby body. This time we'll make sure we get all the way back. Nope, we don't want that to roll forward. Right there. And we'll just bring our little rope-a-dope forward. Each turn I give it a twist. Alright, let's secure that off. Nice. Alright. We'll do touching wraps back here until we get to the peacock curl. And I'm going opposite of the peacock curl wraps. So this is a reverse ribbing. And then we'll space it out now that we are working through our peacock curl. And that just gives a little bit of insurance, a little bit of an insurance policy for the peacock curl. Alright, we didn't like that super bright. We established that. I really like that amber antron. So let's just take a little dab of amber. I mean, this is just the tiniest little bit of amount. Because when we do our dubbing, less is more. Right? Alright, and then we'll roll right into our whip finish. I see one little hair. It's going to bother me. Be gone, you. Alright, we're a little bunched up front. I think we need to flare this out a little bit. When I flare, I'm pushing down. I'm not just blindly just pushing back. I'm hitting the ridge down here at the bottom and up at the top, and really kind of giving that a little bit of a bend. Boy, oh boy, just add some water to that. I like it. Boy, oh boy. What do we think? take a quick little pause, say what's up to everybody. We got 3 of us stacked in here, 3, 4, 5 of us. Anyways, we're gonna tie one. We're gonna tie one more, and then we'll wrap it up for the day. Big day today. Gotta run out, get my compost site permit, drop off my first round of compost, leaves and sticks and junk. Then I get to run to the post office, mail off my dad's birthday present, because his birthday is a week from today. Bum, bum, bum. So, yeah, let's go ahead and say hi. Hello. I really appreciate y'all tuning in. We've recently hit the benchmark of 1,200 subscribers. 1,200 worldwide have clicked that subscribe button, so they will follow us along on our fly tying journey. It all begins with a single wrap of thread. That's what I say. Still can't. It is still snowing. And when I say it's snowing, it's the lightest little bit of snow, flurry. In our category system in our house, it gets the status is flurry fart. This would be category flurry fart. Then you got like flurry storms, and things just get deeper and thicker from there. But all right, let's get this guy out. So he turned out a little bit better. Nice little fat body on that one. I kind of like that. All right, one more for the people. This is a size 12. All right, we'll build our head. Get ahead in life right off the get-go. Which is interesting, which is, I don't know, one of the things I find really unique about this style of fly tying is starting with the head first. You know, usually you get to the end and that's where you finish. But in this case, this is where it all begins. All right. Deer hair. Just some standard Minnesota white-tailed deer. For me, it's a standard white-tailed deer. Not all deer hair is equal. It can be from the same deer, just different location. Deer body versus deer belly versus bucktail, which is interesting because not all bucktail is actually from the buck. It's just deer tail. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? Your bucktail not actually coming from a buck? I'm sure some people have in their mind's eye some like majestic 20-point buck getting taken down just for its tail. Always clearing your deer hair. There's no excuse. Alright, hair stacker. We talked about this. I got 3 of them and I can't find a 1. Oh, wait. I found my 4th. I do have a fourth. I've got one, then we go on a little bit smaller. There's two. We got this brass one, and we don't know where the other one went. Probably behind the coffee mug. That makes sense. So four hair stackers to choose from. But you can only use one at a time, and I would rather have one than none. All right, let it roll. All right, gather up the butts. All right, let's find. Oh, you know what we can do to change this? We've got different wire. I am going to go with a red wire. And just put this away too. This is just a small red wire. Cut the red wire. Which one is that? Alright, again, we're going to take this down into the bend just a little bit. And then we'll take our thread up a wrap before we tie this off. Yep, different textures, different uses. Not all fur is on equal footing. Just like not all hackle is the same either. Nothing is the same. If we're talking a natural material, you can anticipate none of it being the same. All right. 1, 2, 3. A little bit of room in back to give us room for our little, in this case will be a little red butt, little red tag end. All right. Let's give this a try. Twist that forward. And be oh so careful around the tip of that hook. As we know, nothing will break the tip of your hook faster. Nothing will break your material faster than the tip of the hook. Which is interesting because when we rotate our hooks upside down to do whatever, just by having it on the top instead of the bottom, our brains are so used to it being on the bottom. That's where things tend to go sour and get messed up. All right, that's us right there. Us on the bus. All right, just like we did with that gold ribbing, we're going to do the same with this red ribbing. And we're going to take some touching wraps to start off. Nice close touching wraps. Which for us is good. We're going to get like 4, maybe 5 wraps back here. That'll work, and then we'll just space out our ribbing. Nice and even. Alright, right behind the deer here, we'll lock that off. And give it a old snipperdoodle. Alright. Last time, we're going to do our rust. I like that rust antron. Just a little dabble W. We're not going for a super big collar. Just got to get around it a couple of times. Roll into our whip finish. And cinch that down. It looks a little funky, all compact, but once we apply our, and this is the Minnesota, it's the Minnesota fly tool. And this is pretty cool. Clear acrylic. I think it's acrylic. Feels like acrylic. But anyways, this is, it says trout. I'm going to use this for probably panfish, but different sizes: small, medium, large, and jumbo. And this is what it is designed to do. Let's flare that out. Hey, 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 what do you say? I like that. I like it with that red back end. Yep, this is the one. It's interesting. We always end on, I typically always end on a good note, and I'm going to quit while I'm ahead on this one. If I continue, I'll probably tie a few more of these. I usually tie a few more of whatever we're tying off camera after the fact, just so I can get a couple extra for the box. But otherwise, we always end on a good note, I think. Well, thank you all for joining me on this wonderful Monday the 19th. Yeah, oh, I can do this. This is what I meant to do. Here we go. That way I got my credits. Oh yeah, and I wanted to turn, I got towards the end of one of my videos the other night, and I wanted to turn this down. There we go. Because my voice was competing over the music, and I want to win. So, yeah, new week. It's the 19th. What a way to start it off. Wishing everybody the best. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your birthday wishes who wished me a happy birthday over the weekend. Really appreciated. Looking forward to getting out onto the water sooner than later. Still waiting for that kayak. Hey, it's going to be a while. So we'll do this again this Wednesday. Wednesday night will be our Project Healing Waters. Just a clue is we're going to be tying with some rubber legs. I don't know. Some people call it a girdle bug. Pat's rubber legs. I don't know. It's a lot of fun. We'll get to it on Wednesday. We do this every Monday, about 9 o'clock. Run it for about an hour. Enjoy my cup of coffee here. That's some good stuff. Anyways, hope you have some good stuff too. Thank you all for watching. Please stay healthy out there. Please stay safe. Be kind. Happy tying. Tight lines. Peace.